Blessings. So this morning, I have some updates on Tashika McKay's passing. She was pregnant when she was killed by her boyfriend, and it requires you to watch the full video for understanding. Also remember that if you're new to the channel, if it is your first time over here, please I'm asking you to subscribe, plus click the notification bell, and while doing so select option all, so that way you'll be first in the line to be notified about each and every activity on our channel. And also remember to give this video a like always, for YouTube algorithm. Blessings and more beatitude. Stay safe. So, 20-year-old Markland Hales, the man who reportedly killed his pregnant girlfriend in Roden Hall district near Kellyton, Clarendon, confessed to authorities that he was the one who carried out the brutal act, hours after he was arrested and taken into custody. Police said the 20-year-old farmer of Mason River district in Clarendon made the confession hours before he was found dead in his cell. Police said he is suspected to have taken his own life. What do you think? Leave a comment and make your opinion count down in the comment section. The police continue by saying Hales was taken into custody on Sunday, June 20, after 21-year-old Tashika McKay was found by a relative with her throat slashed. Hales was later apprehended by the police and taken to the hospital and treated for injuries he sustained from stones that were hurled at him by angry residents during the arrest. One officer was also treated. Police, in a release, said Hales was later taken to the Maypen Criminal Investigation Branch, where he confessed to the crime during a caution statement. He was taken to the Lionel Town Police Station, where he was placed in a quarantine cell by himself due to the C-19 protocols. He was later found dead in his cell, and it is believed that the killing of his pregnant girlfriend stemmed from a domestic dispute. Investigations are ongoing. In the meantime, Cliff Hughes from Nationwide Radio conducted an interview, so I'm going to share it with you and let you form your own conclusions. Be attentive, and always remember to leave a comment and make your opinion count down in the comment section. Blessings.
Well, it was a bloody Father's Day in the rural northern Clarendon community of Roden Hall yesterday. It was a site of a gruesome turn of events, tragedy really. A man killed his pregnant girlfriend during a domestic dispute.
Listeners, the deceased woman has been identified as 21-year-old Tashika McKay. The police had to rescue the alleged attacker, Markland Hales, from an angry mob.
And then he killed himself. According to what we're learning from the police, he committed suicide while in the custody of the police between last night and sometime today.
The Member of Parliament for Clarendon Northern, that's Dwight Siblis, has described the situation as unfortunate.
Angry, sad, outraged. The mood is just, the community is in disbelief. They are just not understanding at this moment what could have gone wrong, what could have happened, that this young lady could have met her death in the way that she has met it. It's really very unfortunate, and it's one more too many. He was reported to have killed himself. That again just make it even worse.
Dwight Sibley is the Member of Parliament for Northern Clarendon. Well, joining us to give us the latest developments, we have with us Senior Communications Strategist in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Dennis Brooks, and Councillor for the Kellett Division in the constituency, Noel Nemard. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to Nationwide.
Yeah, good afternoon, Cliff, Tyrone, and to your listeners and viewers.
If we will, let's begin with you, Dennis Brooks. Tell us, based on what the police now know, when did he take his life?
Well, we're not sure as to the precise moment, but he was last seen alive shortly before 9 o'clock this morning. He would have, there are certain procedures that would have ensued early in the morning. He was alive at the time. He shortly, in sometime around 11 o'clock, I would don't want to try to be too specific, but sometime around 11 o'clock, he was brought a meal, and the cell guard was the one who found him hanging in his cell. And so it was sometime between just before 9 a.m. and sometime around 11 a.m. in that 2-hour span of time.
Where was he being held?
He was being held in Lioneltown. Now, he was by himself in the cell because given the challenges of COVID-19, he was placed in a cell by himself. We could say in a quarantine cell, so to speak. But you're constantly taking people in, and you never know if you're going to be taking someone in with COVID-19 to cause some kind of an outbreak. So that's the reason why he was by himself at the time. Mm-hmm. Bear in mind also that he would have been injured the day before. He would have had to have been taken to a medical facility and given treatment, as is his human right. So that would have happened. He was taken back to Lioneltown from Maypen, and that's where he was. He was brought to Lioneltown about 9 p.m. last night, and in that cell.
So Dennis, did he confess to the crime prior to taking his own life?
All right. Yesterday, when he was taken to Maypen, he gave a caution statement. He gave a caution statement where he did confess to killing his ex-girlfriend. Yes.
And she was his. They weren't in a relationship at the time, is what?
No, they were in a. No, my understanding is that they were. Sorry, they were in a relationship at the time. There was a domestic dispute.
Dennis, the young Brooks, trying to be the second Brooks in the interview. Try and sort him out for me. Well, let me bring in Councillor Nemard. Councillor?
Yes, good afternoon, Cliff.
Good afternoon, Councillor Nemard.
Yes,
Tell me now, how is the family of Miss McKay doing?
To be honest, Cliff, yesterday morning, because I was Father's Day, my kids booked me into a hotel for 3 days from yesterday, today and Tuesday.
Things are going for you, man.
And then before I went off, I did call my MP and told him that I wasn't going to be around. So on Sunday evening now, when I get the call from the MP, or Sunday morning when I get the call from the MP that this tragedy happening road now, I tell you, say everything's spoiled for me, because I did supposed to come back from yesterday tomorrow, and now right now I'm in road now. I'll stop to do the interview to go and then go visit the family.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, but I tell you, say it's rough. It's rough, Mr. Hughes, because I tell you, say I'm close to both of the family. Both family, I'm very close to them.
Oh.
Friend and political wise, I'm very close to them.
So
you understand? So I tell you, say it's devastating, man. It's devastating to me right now and the whole community, because the gentleman almost live in my community, and the road now is a giant community. You know?
Oh, so both of them are from Roden Hall virtually?
No, the gentleman is from Pleasant Hill up in Mason, close to Mason River. That's my district.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the young lady is from Roden Hall. And before this happened, if I not even know that the young man have a girlfriend, because if this never happened, I didn't know that him have a girlfriend, not to get somebody pregnant, because he's such a quiet young man.
Oh.
He's such a quiet young man.
And quite young as well. He
quite
was
young, 20-year-old. Yeah, 20-year-old.
Oh.
You understand, 20-year-old. So right now the whole community is in mourning, and because it's a too large family from both sides. So you just imagine how them feel right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Can you hold the line for us, please? We're up on a break. Stay with us. We're speaking with Councillor Noel Nemhard of the Kellets Division in Northern Clarendon, where that tragedy is unfolding, as well as Senior Communication Strategist in the JCF, Dennis Brooks. Stay with us. If you have not been tuned in, yesterday afternoon, a 21-year-old, 8-month pregnant woman was killed by her common-law partner, Markland Hales, in Roden Hall in Northern Clarendon, in the hills of Clarendon. She died. The residents of the community went after Hales. The police had to rescue him. And today we're learning that apparently he committed suicide sometime between just before 9 this morning and 11. We have with us Senior Communication Strategist at the JCF, Dennis Brooks, and Councillor for the area in Northern Clarendon, Kellets, Noel Nemhard. Welcome back, Mr. Brooks, Councillor Nemhard. Let me begin with you, Dennis. Can you tell us the extent of his injuries? You did say in the first half that he had to be taken to the hospital and then returned to Lionel Town last night.
I can't speak specifically to the extent of his injuries, but he was fairly significantly injured. He was set upon, but not just him. Our officers were set upon as well when they were trying to effect the arrest. We have a service vehicle that was significantly damaged. And if I might,
yes,
we see far too many examples when members of the constabulary, my colleagues, are out there merely trying to do their lawful duty, and they are being obstructed by members of the public. Now, I know that they are angry. I know that they are enraged, but we still have a law enforcement function to perform. And in law enforcement, outrage is not a luxury that we enjoy. We have to go and do the people's work. We have to show respect for all, even the person who may be guilty of a crime. We have to observe and enforce the rule of law. And it is a tragedy as well to see persons setting upon the police because they are baying for blood. So yes, he was injured. He was treated, so he wasn't in serious condition. He was treated and released from the hospital, and then he was taken to Maypen Police Station, where he was able to give a caution statement. But I would implore persons, please stop interfering with the police doing their duties.
Mr. Brooks, I saw a 30-second video clip, yes, of the police shepherding him towards the vehicle, literally surrounding him with their guns drawn, their rifles.
And shots were fired as well.
And firing shots. If you will, how long did all of that unfold for before they were able to get to him and to take him away to safety?
And it's difficult to say, because I would have to speak with the investigating officer to tell me that. I've seen more than one 30-second clip, put it that way. I've seen multiple. And the multiple that I've seen, it would suggest that it took quite a bit of evasive action from the police to get him away from the angry mob. And we know that madness is the order in the context of a mob. So people were doing things that maybe as individuals they wouldn't have been inclined to do. But you have to protect those people from themselves. You have to protect him from those people. And you have to ensure that this person, who is, for all intents and purposes, a person of interest in a violent crime, you are able to effect an arrest. So it's not simply just coming to his rescue. You are, within the context of human rights observance, trying to protect this person, and you are putting your personal feelings aside to effect this arrest and bring him to justice.
Hold it for a moment, Dennis. Let me go back to Councillor Nemhard. It's your people, you know them. Tell us, yes, for those who are listening, what kind of mood they would have been in yesterday afternoon when they were demanding that the police let them deal with him.
Well, Cliff, I tell you, say, you could understand. As I said, Cliff, if something like that happened to a young lady like what happened yesterday, Cliff, I tell you, and it's a big family in Roden Hall. I'm so happy that the police move away with him same time, because anything could have happened. Cliff, and when the police say him have to try to protect them from themselves, I'm happy to hear you say that, because I know bad thing could have happened. Yeah, I'm glad to say worse thing and that don't happen. You understand, Cliff? Because it's a big family, and them is a close family. The McKay family is a big family and very close. You understand?
Yes.
So I'm really pleased that the police them act the way they act and move. And act swiftly. You understand?
Indeed. Dennis, where did the police take him from? Was he in his house? Where did the police locate him when they arrived on the scene?
I honestly didn't obtain that information, so I wouldn't want to speculate.
And based on his caution statement then, what did he say happened? If you could share that with us.
What I will share is that it was a dispute that surrounded accusations of infidelity. He made several accusations of infidelity, and that is what the dispute between them surrounded.
And the girlfriend was what? We are reporting 8 months pregnant. Do you know that, Dennis? Or Councillor Nemard?
Yes. 8 months pregnant, I understand. 8 months pregnant.
Are you hearing as well, Councillor, that it was accusations about infidelity?
Not really, Chris. Because as I said, I heard a lot of things going on, but I'm saying, but I have to say that I'm on my way now to spoke to the family to hear what they have to say.
So Dennis, after that dispute arose, did he say what happened from there?
He would have given those details in his caution statement, but I wouldn't want to say that to disclose in detail what he gave in his caution statement. But needless to say that there was no doubt in the minds of the investigators that he was the person who committed the crime based off of what he said, and charges were expected to be laid. I mean, it's sad. We were expecting that the news today would be that we would issue a statement to say that formal charges have been laid in this matter today. And that is what we were expecting based off of the conversations that we had with him yesterday and this morning.
What did he use to hang himself, Dennis?
He used an article of clothing. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give people ideas. But he used an article of clothing that he manipulated with other things, and he hung himself with it.
Wow. So, Councillor Nemard?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about the lady, Tashika McKay.
Well, it's a nice young lady, Cliff, because that's very well. This time, like our party and things like that. And, most of the time she works at bar and things like that. That's where I understand they meet. They met, it's a nice person in the community. I'm very active in the community. And I said, she's in part of my political group, same way.
Yes.
Both families, you understand? Yeah.
When you say she's been very active in the community, what does she do?
Well, she helps out a lot. She works and helps out a lot of persons in the community, and things like that. So she's a nice person. Most people in the community like her. You understand? Yes.
And him?
And yes, the gentleman is a very quiet young man too. Cliff, that's what I say right now. I can't get over it because he's so quiet. You understand? Honestly, Cliff, he's so quiet. You understand? This guy hardly talk. Sometimes he used to even work at my field because I'm a farmer too. And sometimes he work with me there, and when he's there, he just work by himself and not even talk. But I didn't know that he have it in him to do this type of thing. And it's God. If I did it, probably if I did it, the officer said he confessed to it. I probably would have still have been now. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I heard the officer say he confessed to it.
Dennis, based on the checks that would have been made by law enforcement officials, did they ever receive a call about any domestic dispute incident involving these two individuals prior to what happened yesterday?
There's nothing that I've been made aware of on record, and as has been suggested by the counselor, they lived a relatively quiet life. I mean, I could check further, but that wasn't reported to me as something that came up on the radar. But what I would say is that people will have disputes, people will have contentions, but it does not need to get to this. And I would hope that persons would seek the services of whether it's social intervention programs or the domestic violence centers that we are rolling out at the Jamaica Constabulary. We just did a tour of one on Friday when both of these individuals were alive. There are platforms, there are mediums for persons to ferret out their issues if they have them. It does not need to get to the point where people are taking the lives of others and their own lives. We need to manage our relationships better in this country, and we need to socialize our boys and our girls better to navigate relationships so that the police don't have to be intervening, whether trying to stop someone from killing themselves or to be cleaning up the blood that's shed.
Thank you very much, Councillor Nemard. Yes, you have some work to go do in the community.
Yes, and Cliff, I think both families need some counseling.
Yes.
Because both sides not taking it very well.
Yes.
You understand? They need some counseling. I have to talk to my MP and see what he can do. Not to try to do something to say they can get some counseling.
Yes.
Some good counseling to Cliff.
Yes.
And thanks again, Cliff, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Councillor Nemard.
Yeah.
Dennis Brooks, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You know, Tyrone, the honeypot. What a powerful and seductive, what you call it? Seductive tool. Yeah? And it has cost so many lives, caused so much grief. And we men can't manage when you get the bun. Can't manage, can't cope with it. It's like you get a bullet to the head when you know, say, I get the bun.